Hello and welcome back to another Soul Osmo video. We're getting back to the basics, the tips, the stuff you need to know. And the title of this video, you're probably thinking is clickbait. But let's be clear. This blitz is frustrating for a plethora of reasons. It's because the coverage behind it is amazing, the blitz is very good, and more importantly, it's very quick to set up. It's not like one of those where only the pros can run it because there's a million adjustments. There's like 4, maybe 5. I'll go through the video, I'll go through the adjustments video, but finally I'll get right into it because I don't want to waste your time. That's not who I am. The play is cover one hole out of nickel 245 double A gap. I'm going to switch to gameplay only. You don't need to see me, and I want to show you guys everything on the screen. Now, cover one hole over mid blitz because of its alignment. You'll notice how they align and press on the receivers on tight sets or even spread out sets is much better. So I'm going to call something that a lot of people run. Let's call verticals, right? That would beat man last year. So all we're going to do is I'm just going to press, and I'm going to blitz my user. I always blitz my user, and then blitz all linebackers. So right on the D-pad and down on the right stick. And this will blitz all linebackers here. Then all I want you to do is shade underneath and outside. So triangle or Y, down on the right stick, and then triangle or Y, right on the right stick. That's all it is. You just blitz all, and you'll notice the guys on the routes just get pressed into the dirt. And more importantly, the blitz gets in. Now I'm going to show you a couple renditions of this blitz. It's not just that setup. So all you're doing is you're going to press, blitz your user, blitz all linebackers, right? And then shade underneath, shade outside. That's all it is. Very simple adjustments. The reason it's so good is because of the man coverage behind it. And the secondary reason it's so good is because of the blitz itself, right? You're sending 6 people against 5 here, so you'll notice it'll come in. You definitely want your blitz radar up on your safety here. So that little line you see above his head pretty much tells me that the offensive line is recognizing him as a blitzer, so it'll allow someone to come free. So I'm going to block my running back here as an example to show what it looks like if someone just blocks their running back. So I'm running the exact same thing. I'm going to press, shade outside, shade underneath. Right? I'm just going to blitz all. And you'll notice we still get someone free. Very, very easily in. You'll also notice that sometimes the tight end will beat the safety on a streak. The one thing about man coverage this year and in previous years, when he's elevated like this, he'll often just get beat on a streak, no matter the speed differential. So luckily it's the tight end, so you can recover most of the time. But do not be afraid to put like a quarter out there instead. If you think they're constantly going to put their tight end on a streak, then you can put a quarter out there and just run to the tight end. So you have a lot of options with the man coverage. Now I'm just going to quickly get into the coverage side of things. If you see someone max protecting, I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, it comes in free versus a max protect. It doesn't come in free versus a max protect. It'll come in quite fast. Usually things glitch out, right? Like I'll show you it with a max protect. Right, it comes in pretty good. We get nano detected there. It comes in fast. And once again, the man coverage is so good that you almost don't have enough time to get those deep in-breaking or out-breaking routes when they max protect. But that's something I want you to be aware of. So it comes in against a running back block, doesn't come in against a max protect, but does come in 5 out and 6 out. So basically running back blocked and running back not blocked. That's how the blitz works. Now, if you see someone, especially in bunch, motion someone over like this, more than likely they're going to be blocking their tight end because that's what it allows it to do. So all you have to do here is kind of check into a coverage shell. So something I would like is like something along these lines where you have a middle third to go towards if someone's running a deep post, because you are shading outside and underneath, and your user can be responsible for something down in the middle. You don't even have to be sending 4. If you wanted to, you can do something like that. So you have a hard flat and a curl flat on each side. You could put another curl flat on the right side. So just a double curl flat, a middle third, and the amazing man coverage this year. If you are constantly getting beat on streaks, like you're in MUT and you have a much lower caliber team than your opponent, I recommend shading outside and over top. You won't get as good of press animations, but you'll cover those deep outbreaking routes, which are your biggest responsibility as a user, or the biggest portion of the field that you don't want to be responsible as a user. I can run to a flat, I can run into the middle of the field, the deep middle, but one thing I can't do is sprint out to the outside right or the outside left of the field. So as long as you're really covering those with a stout man coverage, you'll be in very good shape. So I'll give you an example of something like, do we have Z-spot in here? We don't have Z-spot. All right, I'm gonna run Z-spot, which is a very common way people beat man coverage in Madden 21 and Madden 22. So Z-spot, Z-spot, Z-spot and go, here we are. So I'm just gonna run it kind of how everyone's been running it. So just blitz, or sorry, how everyone runs it, where they'll motion this guy out. And I'm going to max protect, and the reason I'm going to max protect here is just so my opponent gets a little bit of time, because those practice mode sheds are crazy at the end of the day. So here's just the setup here. It's pretty basic. Blitz my user, I have a middle third, 2 curl flats, right? You could also do something like middle third this guy and like curl flat that guy, and then it'll look something like this. I'll redo it. So the shell would look like that. You still have that hard flat, middle third, and curl flat on the field. You just would be responsible for that tight end going on an outside route. The curl flat wouldn't go too deep. You can, once again, I would recommend setting your zone drops. I like my curl flats at about 20. I leave my clouds and hard flats about the same. You want a hard flat to cover those low flats, and you also want a cloud flat to cover that 10-15 range. And then a curl flat you can hover at 20-25, and he's really nice for those deeper corner routes, or at least it covers it temporarily. So I'm just going to pass him it here, and you'll notice that the edge animations are also really, really good in this formation. They souped them up this year, so even when you're playing coverage, you're going to get a lot, like a significant amount of time. So you'll see that double move was completely bagged, the corner route was completely bagged, and the C route was completely bagged. And those are all routes from previous years that absolutely cooked man coverage. And this year, man coverage is just so good that you can just do this. So I'm just gonna do a quick summary. So if you just scroll to the end of the video and you want a summary, this is basically it. This is what the blitz setup looks like. You wanna just blitz all linebackers, crash down, press, shade outside, and shade underneath. I'll put it in the comments. I'll pin a comment of the 2 setups. So it just looks like that. That's the Send 6 version. And if you don't want to run the Send 6 version, you could do something like this. And then just Send 4, where it's just the 2 curl flats and a middle third, or 2 hard flats and a middle third. Up to you. Up to you completely. And you could also do another version where you don't Send 4, you could actually Send 3, and you could vert hook this guy here, right? And then I know sending 2 this year isn't as effective. You can't just send 2 with the bluff blitz, at least from I found in the beta and my gameplay so far. This is just the coverage shell up. You got a middle third, 2 curl flats, a vert hook. Very difficult to beat. As long as you're watching that tight end on a flat, you're in incredibly good shape. It's just a fantastic defense. I truly believe man coverage will be as bad as it was in Madden 21, which isn't a good thing for the game, but it's a good thing for you because you're watching this video. Now, I'm not here to just talk your ear off. That's it. That's literally the blitz. That's what I mean by it's very easy. It's literally mid-blitz. Everyone's been running mid-blitz before, but the shading is what's important. Shading outside and underneath, or outside and over top, and kind of using the middle. Mixing in coverage and mixing in blitzing. Blitzing I would do more often than coverage. That's something that I want to emphasize. But other than that, I think you're in really good shape with this blitz. It's a great day 1 blitz. No one's going to be able to beat it very well. It'll be great later in the year, even when better cards come out. As long as you are countering your opponent with good man coverage corners, or maybe when route techs start to become very proficient, you are using something like one step. I think it's called inside step and outside step. I would probably do something like, I'd get both if possible. I don't think the AP would work. Maybe I would do outside step, because once again, I believe you can cover the interior routes with your user. End of the day, that's the blitz. I hope you enjoyed, and go win some freaking Madden games.